So today I was going to make a Dylusions tag, and I'm using her stamps. I think this one's Walk in the Park. She has two. Walk in the Park, and it's from her Couture collection, and I bought it from Ranger. Night at the Opera. This one might be Night at the Opera, and the other one's Walk in the Park. So it takes a lot of preparing to, you know, keep everything from making a mess. So I've done all that. I needed a mask, and I wanted to use, I had this Brutus Monroe masking paper if you're ever needing it, but it's not big enough. It's not big enough side to side or top to bottom. It would have taken like 3 of them, and I thought, you know what, it's just going to be easier. This is the way I typically do them, just like that. And I do take a little bit of tape, and this is just some scrapbook.com double-sided tape. Just stick it down. And because her tags are so thick, these are her Dylusions tags, they don't cause a problem. So make sure that doesn't rub off. And all I do, I've got a splat box from Tim Holtz. And you just, you know, you line it up the best you can. You want to still enjoy yourself and have fun. You line it up the best you can. And I know that this is for her school nurse. I know that her favorite color is red. I just worked that into conversation the other day. And I'm going to use the cherry pie. That's the cool red. The post box red is the warm red. So I'm going to use the cool, and I thought I would kind of do turquoise down at the bottom, and Calypso teal up at the top. So this one looks more blue, like blue sky to me, and this one looks like kind of sky and grass a little bit. So that's just what I'm going to do. And it is so easy, and these are so fun. I'm not sure why everyone doesn't do these, other than the mess. So I'm going to test this in my trash can and make sure I got a good spray. Okay, got a good spray, and I need to have my handy dandy paper towels ready. Just gonna kind of clean the nozzle, and you just, however much you want, that looks good. You don't have to clean hers off, but just habit, I guess. And then I'm gonna test this one. I haven't used these in a long time, and they are spraying beautifully. And you could, did I grab the, I don't know if I grabbed a different one or not. You could, I don't know what, I lost my train of thought. So there you go. Put that on there. Wipe it off. And that imprint will disappear. And I'm going to keep her covered. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You could not lay anything down and use this, but I don't have time for that today. So we are rocking and rolling. And I've got a couple new stencils. That's pretty cute. This one is so cool. If anybody wants to know this one, I just got this one from scrapbook.com. That's really cool. And then this one, the scribbles. This is hers. This is the Dylusions brand. So I'm going to kind of scoot this down so I get the whole thing. And all I'm going to do is spray with some water. I just use the Distress sprayer. Get a decent coating on there. It's just going to give me some background. Sit for a second. And I keep the stencil on. Get it out of the way. You do not have to leave the stencil on. You can, however you'd like. So I've got very light coverage. We'll just see how this works out. I haven't done one of these in forever, but they're so fun, like super quick, super fun. I'm going to leave it to dry. Let's see if my little mask worked. I peeled up a little bit, but the next time I use it, I won't peel up. And I can fix that with a black marker once that dries. This may be a test. I may not use this one. This may just be a test, or I may wind up wanting something different. I'm not loving this up here. So we shall see. Now here I'm just going to use a pen. I don't have anything to fill this with. So you have to be careful when you do this. You have to, I tend to keep my hand on it. And just keep in mind what part is dress and what part is like your background. So you can see right there, I cut I cut around the stamp, and then here I didn't, because it's not really necessary. Like when I was cutting it, I thought, why am I even doing this? And you just spin it around, and she does this so fast. She has hers all filled with her ink already, and she is the funnest person to watch do this. So that I will finish painting this in. It won't take 2 minutes, and I'll be back. Got it all painted, and it's not perfect, but I can't see the little flaw that was right in there. I can't see that now anymore. And I decided I think I'm gonna make that a darker red. So just gonna tap and put it over here so I don't spill it. Clean out this brush just a tad. And just make this darker. And it probably took me 3 or 4 minutes to paint this in, because I wound up going over it twice, some areas 3 times, to really get it covered nicely. And it was turning a little purple down here where the overspray went, but once I gave it a second coat, you could not tell. So, and just, if you take these lids off, be very careful. So I have another brush. That is not a fine enough tip. So I'll get another brush and kind of touch up these areas. This brush will work. I think I did this color up top. I can hardly tell a difference in those two. What I don't want is too much. I can always go back. And no one's ever gonna know if it's not absolutely perfect, because there's so much going on. It's such a forgiving way to create. Okay, and it'll smooth out and dry, and then I'll get this. And then for what I do for the skin is I use a alcohol marker, because I have peach colored alcohol markers. So that's just typically what I do. You know, whatever skin tone the person is that I'm giving it to. And do not worry about the back of your tag. If it gets ink on it, whatever it gets on it, it does not matter. It's so thoughtful that you're doing this for somebody, even if there's a little boo-boo on it. I find that people really like receiving these, and because I have to have like so much prep work with it, I don't do these that often, so only the most special people receive these. I wish I had the capability to have this stuff sitting out all the time, and then I would give them to everyone. And I'm going to switch the color down here at the bottom, and hopefully this will kind of cover up that purple. But again, it truly doesn't matter. And when she does these, when Diane Reevely does these, she does not do this. however it lands, whatever it does, that's that, and have a nice day. She is on to the next thing, and they look absolutely fantastic. There. So there we go. So I wish the background had turned out a little better, and I might figure out a way. I think I probably should have pulled the stencil up instead of rolling but like I said, I haven't done this in a while. So I'll go clean these off, and everything cleans up with water. And I may do another one, but I will come back and show you if I'm using this one or a different one. So I pulled out this Spectrum Noir Honey BO05. And I mean, that's the closest thing I've got. And this is all I do. This is gonna kind of make her look suntan, I think. And there's a little blue that splattered in there, but I mean, again, there's gonna be so much going on with this. I may be able to actually use this as the final tag. I like how she looks like she's got a suntan. Okay, and clean these off with water, piece of cake. So I came back down here, and although I'm liking the way it looks, it's too solid. So I'm going to use a stencil and use this white linen ink spray, which if you just keep it laying on its side, it does fine. This one, I don't even know that I've used, and I can't get it working. The shimmer spray, that would have been pretty, but I need to get that cleaned up. And I don't know if I said how I made this mask. I just used a piece of thick Cricut paper and used that. Like, I stamped it and cut it out, and then I always just cut the legs off. That just makes life easier. So I am going to get my splat box back out and put this in here and do the best I can. Again, if I mess it up, I mess it up. You hope you don't, but I just think it would help to have some little dots on here. Just kind of break it up a little. And I may do it all over. I don't know. We'll see. Just do that. And this stuff's kind of hard to clean off. It's kind of, oh, that looks nice. I like that, kind of broke it up a little bit. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm glad I did that. That just gives that background a little bit more. And I am gonna wipe this off. This stuff's messy. I don't use this that often, but it kind of really breaks up the background and looks really nice. And it's actually, look, it's disappearing on me, but it has still added a lovely background. And I do have to be careful with this mask. I have to clean this so that it won't get on the back and get on my finished piece. There, okay. So that is not, it's just so subtle. I mean, talk about subtle, isn't that? So I'm gonna do it all over because it looks great. And like I said, so subtle. So, and I'll just do it like that. And it's supposed to have a ball bearing in it. I have never heard a ball bearing in this one, but you know. Okay, that's that. Now this one you do need to clean off that nozzle and make sure you lay it on its side. minute. That looks good, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry and I'll be back. So I finished up the tags she's going to send into her nurse and to her favorite teacher, which happens to be her art teacher. And for Ms. D, since her name was so small, I wound up using these Dies alphabet from Ranger. And then the heart, she wanted a heart down at the bottom. So I actually trimmed this heart as close as I could so it would fit in there and kind of look more to scale. Tied some ribbon, and then we wrote a cute little note on the back. And the paper here that I use is from these little Dylusions journal. I like the one that has the notebook print. She has all different kinds, grids, all kinds of stuff. And for Nurse Linda, I just hand wrote 6th grade. We all signed on the back. And I back the paper with black, just plain black cardstock, and it just looks great. It kind of ties everything in together. I drew a little nurse hat and put the grade on there, and now she's got something to give to show her appreciation to 2 of her favorite people at school. Oh, and I wanted to show one thing that I use. You're probably like, well, how does she deliver these? I put them in envelopes, and they're really big envelopes, and I grabbed a fresh pack. These are jam paper envelopes, 6x12. It's a number 16 envelope with a wallet flap. I think this might be like a banker's envelope. Not sure, but thought that might be important for you guys to have if you ever want to give these. And I'll show you, they just fit right in here. You can actually, I've actually mailed them. I typically fold that down in there, and you have a little extra wiggle room, and it's just, you know, nice and presentable, and she can write her teachers' names on the front. All right, guys, thanks for watching.